Austin's Morning News.
The teenage boy was a real smart aleck, a big mouth, a wise guy. And he wasn't taking God seriously, according to the pastor at a Baptist church who told the full congregation how he handled the smart aleck. Here's Pastor Eric Damerman telling the congregation what he did when this smart aleck, by his description, wasn't taking the Lord seriously.
We were outside one day at youth group, and he was just trying to push my buttons, and he was just, kind of not taking the Lord serious. And I walked over to him, and I went, bam! I punched him in the chest as hard as I crumpled the kid. I just crumpled him. And I leaned over and I said, Ben, when are you going to stop playing games with God?
And then he went on to tell the congregation at his Baptist church, he got right with the Lord. It got his attention. He's not a smart aleck anymore. That got the attention of this kid.
Well, his method's a little unorthodox this day and time.
Yeah, it is.
But here's the thing. It might have been the saving grace of this kid not winding up in prison. If the kid got right with the Lord, if the kid understood that he wasn't doing what he was supposed to do, you see football players butting heads, jumping up in chest to chest, boom, and things like that.
But so that's their decision, Sam.
I know.
That they want to do that.
I know that. But
how old was the kid he struck?
It just says teenage boy.
Teenage boy, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's very unorthodox to me, and I'm glad it's all
all's well that ends well.
But if the pastor punches old Ben in the chest, old Ben falls in his head and goes south. It's kind of dangerous for an adult full blast to hit a kid in the chest.
This is Sarah in North Austin on the pastor who says he decked the teenage boy. Hi, Sarah. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, what's on your mind, Sarah?
Well, I was just listening to what you had to say about the pastor punching the kid, and that's one, depending on the age of the kid, not only assault but child abuse.
Yeah.
I mean, you're struggling. Our country's struggling now with even to spank a child, and personally, I believe that you can spank a child in a healthy, nonviolent way, but to promote or to tell your congregation or the world that it's okay to punch a child is outrageous.
Oh, it is outrageous, Sarah, because if a pastor did that to one of my kids when they were teenage boys, I'd go out and I'd probably want to do more damage on the pastor than he did on my kid. That's outrageous.
Violence begets violence, right?
Well, I'm just a father protecting my kids, Sam.
No, there again, you're advocating violence as well, so two wrongs don't make a right.
Well, it'd be right if I dope up that preacher.
No, it would not be right.
Yeah,
that's taking the law into your own hands, Ed.
All right, Sarah, thank you. 512.
Gotcha.
Gee, he's now easy on crime. Scott's calling from Central Austin to talk about the preacher man who struck the kid. Go ahead, Scott. You're on KLBJ.
Hey, thanks, guys. Hey, I spent 30 years in the Army. My second last assignment was I was commanding a training brigade, had drill sergeants, all that kind of stuff. Well, those guys, if they, everybody's seen the movies and stuff where the drill sergeant roughs up the recruit, turns him around, and he winds up being a hero and all that other stuff.
Yes.
The problem is that that's against the rules, and you wind up getting court-martialed for that kind of stuff. So the idea that this preacher, he said, the kid's trying to press my buttons and all this other stuff. And what the kid does, the kid was successful. He forced that guy to lose control of the situation, and the only thing he could resort to, he couldn't convince him with his arguments about God. He had to punch him in the chest. That's baloney. That preacher, I mean, he's admitted that he assaulted the kid. The other thing is that I don't get is the kid's in Bible school. He obviously wasn't drafted to go to Bible school. He must be there voluntarily. So I don't understand why. I just don't get the whole situation. If the kid is in Bible school, maybe his parents made him go or something like that. But I just think that's the preacher just showed that he doesn't have a strength of an argument about God. The only thing he resort to is punching somebody. And I agree with you guys. I don't think that's going to convince the kid. He's just going to, he doesn't want to get beat up again. But there's something brewing in the bottom of that kid's mind.
Oh, sure,
He's not going to be positively disposed towards the preacher's arguments. That's excuse me.
In your mind, what should happen next, Scott?
Well, I think the guy admitted to assault, and I certainly wouldn't want a preacher like that running up my congregation. I mean, what's he going to do if he gets a woman or a smart aleck teenage girl? Is he going to smack the smart
I know.
girl, or
Yeah.
smack the woman, or
Yeah.
I mean, that's just baloney to me. I mean, I just don't get it.
And Scott, let me ask you, based on your 30-year career in the military, for your thoughts on this city in North Carolina that has agreed to remove this memorial to U.S. soldiers who've died in combat. It shows a soldier kneeling before a cross. He is holding his rifle. He's holding a helmet in one hand. His head is bowed before the cross. But a man who says he served in Afghanistan in the United States Army was troubled by it, sued the city, and they now have agreed, we will remove it if you drop the lawsuit. What are your thoughts on that, Scott?
I got mixed feelings about it. I mean, this guy, this veteran, obviously doesn't have anything better to do with his time. I think everybody ought to be able to express their appreciation of what they think about, God, fighting, service, and all that other stuff in any way that they want to. And I don't have any problem with a city putting something up like that. My feeling on it, I guess I'm kind of a lapsed Christian. My feeling on it is that those symbols don't bother me because it just shows somebody displaying his faith.
All right, thank you, Scott. Appreciate it.
Weekdays 5:30 to 10 on News Radio KLBJ 590 AM and 99.7 FM.